Good morning, guys! It's time to prepare lunch. We have beef Galbi Gimbap and Yasai Itame stir-fried vegetable for today. So as you can see here, I have one whole fresh carrot that I'm slicing into thin diagonal strips. And this thin diagonal strips will be further sliced into fine carrot sticks. So I'll be doing this for the rest of my carrot, and I will be dividing each portion. One portion for the filling of my beef galbi gimbap, and the other portion is for my yasai itame Japanese style stir fried vegetable. So we'll just continue slicing everything until all else have been sliced, and we'll be washing it to rinse it off, and after rinsing we'll just put some salt, and that's it. So guys, moving on with our avocado, we'll just first slice this into halves and set the other one aside. Continue by peeling the whole avocado using your knife. And we prefer an avocado that's not too ripe so that it won't get so mushy when you do this. So continue slicing your avocado into thin strips lengthwise so that we can put this in our gimbap. You might not be able to finish everything, but you can set them aside and use it for something else. Now add a little bit of salt to your carrot sticks and set it aside. Now moving on to our next ingredient, we have a huge cabbage over here. So I'll just unwrap the cabbage, slice a portion of the cabbage, and slice this into thin strips. So if there's any hard part in the cabbage, I'll just go ahead, remove and discard this. So this cabbage strips, I'll be placing them in a strainer here. I'll be rinsing it and I'll let it drain, set it aside. Our beef galbi marinade, I will be slicing and dicing this 2 cloves of garlic and put this in a bowl. And I will be adding my beef galbi marinade that I got from Korea, and I'll just set this aside. So I'll set this mixture aside while waiting for my beef to fully defrost. I'll be taking my packet of roasted sesame seeds and I'll properly roast it even more so that all the aroma and the flavor of roasted sesame seeds will come out. So I'll just leave the pan in a low heat setting and I'll just leave my sesame seeds to roast. I'll come back once in a while, give it a little shake like this so it won't totally burn right away, and I'll have more control of the roasted sesame seeds. While our sesame seeds are roasting, we'll move on to our scrambled egg. Take 1 egg, scramble it, add a little bit of salt and continue scrambling it, set it aside. I'll take my defrosted beef strips and I'll add this to my marinade. Now going back to my roasted sesame seeds, it's a bit well done already on one side. I'll come back and give it a little shake to make it even and leave it there again. For your beef marinade, make sure that it's mixed thoroughly with the garlic and the marinade. Before stir frying my beef galbi, I'll go ahead and take each slice and slice this into thin strips like a stroganoff. The longer strips are the better because it will fill the gimbap easily. So just continue slicing everything and put it back into the marinade. It will help absorb the marinade even more in all the thin beef strips. And just set it aside. No more, no less. Heat your pan, add a little bit of cooking oil. Here I'm using olive oil. And I'll grab a paper towel and wipe off the excess oil. I'll pour the scrambled egg and I'll roll it over to make a thin layer of scrambled egg, and make sure that it don't burn. Once it's almost formed on the other side, I'll go ahead and get my spatula and try to lift it and flip it over to cook the other side evenly. Once it's all done and cooked, I'll go ahead and remove it from the pan and transfer it to a plate and let it cool down. So this pan will be the same pan that I'll be using for stir frying my vegetables. I'll be taking my Lurpak light butter and use it to grease my pan for my Yasai Itame. So I'll now add my carrot sticks. This is all the carrot sticks that I've chopped. I'll add a little bit of pepper and give it a stir. Once your carrot sticks are half cooked, take a portion of the carrot sticks for the gimbap filling and continue stir frying the carrot. Now add the diced white onions to your vegetables and add a little bit more of butter. Stir fry until the butter melts and you'll be ready for the rest of your vegetables once the onions are soft. While you're waiting for your onions to become soft, take your scrambled egg and slice it into thin shreds and set it aside in another plate. Now the onions and the carrots are halfway cooked, you may go ahead and add your shredded cabbage. Add a little bit of soy sauce and season it with mirin. So this is one of the staple Japanese condiments that you should have in your pantry. Take a tablespoon and sprinkle it in the vegetables. Season it with salt and some pepper and continue stir frying the vegetables until it's halfway cooked. Once it's halfway cooked, go ahead, try to taste it a bit and add some more salt and pepper if you need to, and just continue stir frying your vegetables. And once it's ready, you can go ahead and take a bowl or a plate, remove the pan from the heat and move it to your serving plate and set it aside. I rinsed the same pan and preheat it with oil. Now we're ready to stir fry our beef galbi and marinade. Now continuously stir fry your beef strips in the marinade until the sauce reduces and it's almost dry and sticky in consistency. Now take note that the beef will release water into the marinade, making it more watery in consistency at first. But we'll just have to continuously stir fry the beef in the marinade and make sure that it doesn't burn. And just wait for it to reduce and turn almost completely dry until the sugar caramelizes a bit. So the color will change into a slightly reddish brown color. And once you're happy with the consistency, then you can go ahead and stop stir frying the beef, move it to another bowl and set it aside to cool down. Let's go ahead and prepare our sushi nori seaweed sheets by lightly roasting it in low heat. And I'll just do it on both sides of the wrapper and set it aside. So now this is my second nori sheet that I'm roasting in low heat. So I'm doing it on both sides and set it aside. Now our rice is cooked and ready to serve. Go ahead and take a few scoops of rice and put it in a bowl and prepare the rice for seasoning. Add a little bit of salt and also take a little bit of your sesame oil and put a little bit on your rice. Start mixing your rice to spread it evenly and add a little bit more rice if needed, and you'll be good to go. To give my rice a little bit extra, I'll be sprinkling some toasted sesame seeds, which will give it an extra flavor. And I'll be adding more until it's evenly spread on the rice. Now set up everything on the table and prepare for rolling. Get your nori wrapper. Add rice across the nori wrapper and make sure to spread your rice evenly. Keep in mind to leave a little space on one side without rice. So I'm taking my time spreading the rice evenly, especially on the edges. And this will make sure that it will hold everything in together. So now I'm adding some avocado slices. I'm adding some beef strips and putting in my carrot sticks. In my gimbap roll, I'm adding some egg strips as well. And adding some more, trying to stuff it. But make sure not to overstuff it or else it wouldn't hold in together. So now I start rolling everything in. Making sure that it's stuffed well and good. And we have one roll of gimbap. Next is another nori wrapper, and I'll try to put all the remaining rice in this nori wrapper. We'll try to do it again. Spread everything evenly, especially on the sides, and leave one side without any rice, just to make sure that it can hold up everything. All right, now it's nice and firm and evenly coated with rice. I'm putting in a lot of egg strips, and now I'll be adding a lot of beef strips to make this a one full stuffed gimbap. Then next is the strips of avocado and some strips of my carrot sticks, especially on the edges and on the end part of the nori wrapper. I'll try to put a lot more stuff in there. Start rolling again. Try to secure everything inside and roll everything in, stuff together. And there you go. So there's our second stuffed gimbap. Gimbap is now ready for slicing. Get a paper towel and some sesame oil. We'll have to first coat the nori wrapper with some sesame oil to make it shinier and even more appealing. Now get a knife. Make sure the knife is sharp. If not, go ahead and replace the knife with a sharper one so that it won't ruin your gimbap when you're trying to cut it into bite-sized pieces. So trying this one, and it looks good and it's good enough for my gimbap. I'll continuously use the knife and try to also wipe it clean if it starts getting sticky. So I'll just continuously slice each piece for my gimbap, arrange it, and try to stuff it more with fillings if it's kind of loose, and arrange it in the side plate or a rectangular plate that I have. And I'll go ahead and cut some more slice, and I think this slice is second to the last one. I'll leave the other one that big enough. I'll just stuff it more with beef and other fillings to make it full. Now let's go ahead and cut the other side. So the ends look really pretty because of the extra stuff and fillings inside. So I'll go ahead and cut the ends first and keep it in my rectangular plate. And the remaining gimbap will be sliced on the same size, bite-sized pieces as well. So I'll just repeat the process until I finish all gimbap and arrange it in my plate. So there you go. This stuffed gimbap looks nice and full. and it's not loose. So I guess we should always do this, make it really full and stuff when we're making gimbap. Now let's go ahead and try to put some beef strips on top so that will make it meatier and extra special. So I'll just go ahead and put it on top of each gimbap slice since I have a lot of extra meat strips. Then afterwards we're going to take our roasted sesame seeds and sprinkle it all over our finished gimbap. There you go. Just sprinkle it liberally, sprinkle all you want, and it gives a nutty aroma. That's your gimbap over there. Here's your gimbap. Here's the final look of our gimbap. I've plated this in 2 rectangular plates and some Japanese mayo on the side. Here's my lunch tray for today together with the vegetables and kimchi pancake. Here's a closer look on my plate with the honey ginger tea on the side. If you have time, go ahead and try making your own gimbap. Don't forget to tag me if you're going to try this recipe.